Hello, welcome, Tim. Thank you, the first arrival.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about meditation or anything you would like to share before we start, since you're the only one here for the moment?
I'm still relatively new to meditation, maybe 2 months in. And so I've been trying to increase the time that I sit every day when I can. And so what I've noticed is not only do I have what I consider mental benefits from the time, but some physical ones as well. Like I find myself, I'm guilty of poor posture. So I try to sit kind of an upright position, and it carries over to when I'm walking. I catch myself and I go, oh, wow, I should be more aware of my body stance. I also I've had a couple of foot surgeries, and just being in the kneeling position is like, it's a daily workout to stretch my foot. So I'm noticing not only the mental, but just overall my body responds to the meditation as well. So I'm not sure if that's a common experience, or is it primarily a mental activity, or is it a full body, if you will, activity for you?
I see other people are arriving, so I'll answer your question. I was just, Tim was the only one here for a few minutes, and so I invited him to ask a question or make a comment, and he was saying that he's benefiting from the gradually increasing the amount of time he's meditating and noticing physical as well as mental benefits. And I would say to that it's a combination of the two all along. We're increasing mindfulness of the body, awareness of the body, which is helpful, can be helpful for our health and our activity. Like if I'm really aware that I'm reaching for something and how I'm reaching for something, I might be more careful about how I pick it up and less likely to drop it, for instance. So that's kind of but I'm also aware of, okay, this is something I should be able to take possession of, or it's something that I shouldn't take possession of. So the mindfulness is an activity, can protect our behavior. It can help our, health, that we, step carefully so we're less likely to fall, aware of our posture. And I do throughout the day bring awareness to the body. It's a really excellent way to maintain the meditation throughout the day, is how I'm holding my body, but also just the feeling, like even now I'm feeling the contact of the cloth against my skin, and how my body's positioned, the touch of the cushion, I'm the weight of my body against what's supporting me. All these things you can carry through the day. So it's definitely mind and body. And there's we might start pulling away from the awareness of the body and more aware of the mind itself. And that's also part of the meditation. But having a firm rooting in mindfulness of the body is a very excellent foundation and starting place. But it's also an important element throughout, to the throughout our practice, no matter how well developed we are, how long we've been meditating. So it's actually why I like to emphasize it, because keeping ourselves in the present moment with the awareness of the body is a very effective method for present moment awareness. So I think we can start. I'm going to adjust my posture just a little bit. So if I'm aware, like when I'm starting my meditation and I'm aware of my body, then I'm aware, my posture is a little bit off. I need to do a little bit of adjusting. And the very beginning part of your meditation, this is the time to kind of fidget around a little bit, adjust things a little bit, and get yourself really settled in a posture that you can sustain. So this is where awareness of the body at the beginning of the session is really essential. And then as you're bringing awareness to the body, your mind is settling and becoming more quiet. You can just let go of any things that are pressing. We always have something that we need to be doing, even if it's brushing our teeth. Silly things will come up. Oh, I forgot to mail a letter or whatever. But all those things you can just let go. This is a special time just to be here in the present moment. Just experience what it is to be where we are. We're always in the present. The past is always gone. The future is always yet to come. So experiencing the whole of the body, the weight of the body. Feeling what the contact with what the body is being supported by. Feeling your feet, you might be feet firmly planted on the floor or however it's arranged, if you're sitting cross-legged. And feeling the lower legs. This kind and gentle awareness. Slowly bringing the awareness up the body from the feet to the legs. Giving kind attention to any tension in the body. Inviting it to relax. Feeling the buttocks against the seat or the cushion. And gradually bringing the awareness up to the abdomen, the back, hips. You feel the expanding and contracting of the torso, the abdomen. It's the natural rhythm of the breath. And you can adjust things very slightly too as you bring the awareness up if you're sensing a little bit out of alignment. All the way up to the top of the chest. The shoulders. And bringing the awareness down the arms. Might feel the touch of the arms against the body. All the way down to the hands, fingertips. Might feel the air temperature, your hands are exposed. And allowing the kind attention to drift upwards over the arms. Back up to the shoulders. And the neck. And up to the top of the head, over the back of the head, sensing the sides of the head. Just really sensing the top of the head. And bringing the awareness over the forehead. Just really inviting the forehead to relax. around the eyes, just with utmost gentleness. And if any area is tense and can't let go, just give it your kind attention and move on to the next area. Sensing the cheeks, the jaws. The teeth should be lightly touching. And the tongue at ease, just lightly touching the top of the palate. The lips slightly touching. And if a smile comes naturally, that's wonderful. And sensing the chin. And the neck. And again over the shoulders. Just letting the weight of the world drop away from the shoulders. And down the arms again. Inviting the hands to really be at ease. Nothing to do. And tracing back up again to the shoulders. Top of the chest. Again, you might be aware of the gentle rhythm of the breath. Expanding and contracting the chest. And the abdomen. And pubic area. Thighs. Again, feeling the contact of the body against the chair cushion. All the way down the legs to the feet. And then back up again. Sensing the buttocks, the hips. And bring your awareness to the low back. And mid back. Shoulder blades and upper back. And all this time you might be noting the expanding and contracting of the body with the breath. Even the shoulders rising a little bit. And upwards to the neck. And the back of the head. All the way to the top of the head. And you can allow the awareness to cascade downwards. And if you're ready to stay with the rhythm of the breath at one spot, or generally throughout the body, and if any thoughts arise during this process, just gently bring the awareness back to the body, to the breath. And we'll continue in silence for Another 17 minutes. Dukkha pata chani dukkha, baya pata chani baya, soka pata chani soka, hontu sabe pipani no. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear struck be free from fear. May the sorrowful be free from sorrow. So too may all beings be free. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Bhutam dhammam sangham namasami. So now is the time for any comments or questions. And let's see if I can change the view here. Let's see. What is this making it larger? I still don't have this technology down, so. Anyway, I would like to be able to, oh, here, I can shrink this one. Let's see. That's already, oops. I'm trying to change the view so I can see more people. And I think I maybe have everyone now on the screen. And you can either put your hands up, or if you have a little icon thingy that you can put a little hand. I've seen people put their a little icon of a hand up if they wanted to speak. So you're welcome. If you want to ask a question or speak, to put your hands up one way, electronically or physically. One thing I did want to mention is that the meditation naturally will go from a coarser, like physical experience of the body, and then it can go to, if you're going, moving from overall feeling of the body to an overall feeling of the breath to a more subtle experience of the breath. That's a very nice progression, but it shouldn't be forced. It's kind of like you just get a sense for yourself when you're ready to get from a little bit coarser to more subtle. And one teacher pointed out that even though your object of meditation may be coarse, like if you're really focusing on 4 elements and you're experiencing earth element, the weight of your body, the hardness of your body. So this is coarser, but the mindfulness can be subtle. The mindfulness could be more powerful with both the subtle. So the mindfulness doesn't have to be coarse in that it's not precise, if that makes sense. So you can have a coarser object, but still have very precise mindfulness, very refined mindfulness, if that makes sense. But there is a natural for the mind to incline to more subtle, more stillness of the body. So then you might see that occurring, and you might want to settle just on the breathing and an aspect of the breathing in one area. And so I just wanted to, this came up, I didn't want to get into too much detail during the meditation, during the guided meditation. So I thought I'd bring this up now. So is there any questions or comments? I hope I answered Tim's question. Was that good?
Yes, thank you for the comments. It's much appreciated.
Okay. All right. Everyone's doing well with their meditation. Maybe you've all gotten to such deep states of meditation, there's nothing to say. I see Heather in the yurt.
I was just going to ask a question. Shall
Yeah.
I put that or shall I?
You can, no, please ask a question.
Are you familiar or can you speak about dark room meditations? Have you ever done like an extended meditation in the dark?
In the dark, like having the lights out?
For an extended period of time?
Oh, like it's something like some kind of discipline to be in the dark? Or I'm not sure what that, I don't know. I know some people like to sit in the dark because if the mind becomes bright, there's a brightness that might arise in the meditation. They're able to discern what if it's coming from the mind or an external light. So I know people do that. In this tradition, we sit with our eyes closed, and dim lighting is good. Bright lighting is good if you're have a tendency to fall asleep. You don't want like the light in your face or something like that. But if it's a a moderately lit room, that might support wakefulness. And if it's if your mind is naturally bright and energetic, and it might help with the settling of the mind to be like really dim or dark. And but I don't know if it is an actual practice of being, like, I know that people do that because they want to be able to discern a nimitta, but it seems like I guess I did have the experience one time where I was sitting and I did experience this like light, and then I was afraid to open up my eyes for quite some time. And then I blinked them open at one point, and the sun was coming through a window and it was just hitting me right here. So, so I think that's what people are trying to avoid. They're going to, oh, I'm experiencing a nimitta, and it's actually the sun coming through. Like right now, we've got skylights, so I could, if the sun was really bright and it's coming down. Oh, but yeah, I'm not familiar with that as an actual, practice. But I know there are people that do. I was at a retreat one time and I thought I was coming into the meditation hall quite early, and the lights were out. And then I flashed the light switch on, and there were a bunch of people in the room, and I flashed it off again. And then somebody later said, yeah, they want to sit in the dark because they want to be able to discern the nimitta. That was the first time I had heard about that accidentally. But yeah, I don't know if there is a discipline by that of that, other than what the two experiences I had with it. Yeah, so I think you for what my understanding is just to gauge for yourself whether it's supportive of or not. If you're just, end up taking a nap because it's so, it's so conducive to restfulness, But if it's supportive of your practice, I think then that's fine.
Will you explain nimitta?
Oh, the nimitta, the Pali word for nimitta really means sign. It's a sign of the mind. And there can be all kinds of signs, just like in English, we have a road sign that says "Do not enter" or something like that. And there's signs and features like something is beautiful. There's some characteristics that are beautiful, so that's a sign of the beautiful. But it's a later kind of commentarial tradition. Later, I think in the Visuddhimagga, there's a later book, I think it's 3rd century or something, after the time of the Buddha, but there's a commentarial tradition that's collected probably since the time of the Buddha, and then eventually was put into writing and put into by a particular monk. He collected the teachings, and but it's in that teaching called the Visuddhimagga, and it's during just before going into very deep meditation. You might see a bright light. Your eyes are closed. You could be in a dark room, and a light can emerge, and that's a sign. So that means a sign that the mind is coming into unification. The mind is getting bright and pure, and usually the mind is quite still and quiet. There's not a lot of verbal. If you're still having a lot of verbal chatter going on and hindrances and stuff like that, it wouldn't be. Oh, thank you, Buddha Gosa. There it is. Thank you. So in that collection of teachings, they discuss it as a kind of necessary part of the progress towards the jhanas, towards the absorptions. So you might this light may arise. Not everybody agrees that that's a necessary that you would have, and how it's described too is various. It can be like a pinpoint light, or just like this huge bright. The consciousness is the brightness of the consciousness is quite expansive, but it's just prior to entering a deeper state of meditation, and it may last for quite some time. But then that's kind of a transition point with the nimitta. So I can't say much more about it than that, other than there's quite a discussion about whether it's necessary or not before entering the jhanas, entering the sama samadhi, the deeper states of meditation. But for some people, it could be frightening or exciting or something, and then it could be distracting. So you might need some guidance if you're experiencing that. But I guess that's all I can say right now about it. You might look it up online too. There's a lot written about nimittas and jhanas and all that. There's a lot of Ajahn Brahm is a very good resource for the teachings on the jhanas and all the progression. And he's one of the masters that says that this is a necessary. and before entering jhana, that's a necessary thing to experience. So are there any more questions? Sometimes it's hard to think of the right question to ask, but that's okay if you don't have any questions.
You can probably add something.
Yes?
Thank you, Ayya, first of all, and thank you and showing my respect to all seniors here. What you said about nimitta, 100% agreed, and I saw from my knowledge in Tipitaka, there is another citation of nimitta, which is pancha nimitta, means 5 kinds of signs, which is occurred during the departure or some entity departed from one realms to another realms, or one realms to nowhere, what is nibbana. So that's called pancha nimitta. And if I translate, can be 5 kinds of sign. Thank you.
Pancha nimitta. And
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time
Yes.
hearing you.
And-
There's a little bit of distortion or something,
oh,
but
I'm sorry.
did you say?
No, if you lean in toward the microphone, we'll be able to hear you better.
Okay. Is that make better, Bo? Do you guys hearing me better now?
It's a little muffled. Maybe take your hand away.
Okay. How about now?
That's better.
Okay. So in Tipitaka, as far my knowledge goes, like what you explained from the jhana meditation points of view, nimitta, I 100% agreed. And then there is another citation in whole Tipitaka about nimitta, where they're talking about 5 nimitta, or 5 kinds of pancha means 5. Nimitta means, like you said, verbal translation, maybe sign. So they are talking in that citation, they are talking about when somebody dying, for example. So how we see where he's supposed to go, which realm he's supposed to go, or he's going to get the nibbana, right? So for example, human goes to animal realm, or kind of, so that depends on that shows 5 kinds of sign, which is pancha nimitta.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
I can probably send you right now. I'm not in a position to send you the citation, but I know your email address, so probably I can send you the link of that.
Okay. And where you said it was from the Tipitaka?
Yeah. Tipitaka.
Because I'm not.
And that not only that, there is also some research work done by different monks around the world. And one I remember, Rashtrapal Mahathir from India, he did on this topic PhD. So his PhD topic, he got the doctorate from university, and the topic was five nimitta, pancha nimitta.
Yeah.
I also have his book, and I can probably also, and that was translated, I believe, in different language. So if you guys are interested, I can also send that book too.
So I have a light nimitta on my face right now from the skylight. So, yeah, so you said something about after dying,
No, just before dying. What is called
just before dying, there's a sign.
like Shondi, no? When you
Yeah,
depart
I know
from
in the
here.
Tibetan tradition, they talk about that.
This is
And
also from Theravada tradition too. You
Yeah.
get this in both traditions, Theravada tradition or Hinayana or Mahayana.
So
in
where
both-
in the Tipitaka, what section of the Tipitaka is
as-
that?
it is not it is not Abhidhamma. It
For-
was in some sutta.
For me?
Some suttas it was explained. This was cited in some sutta, and then Sutta Pitaka.
Yeah, I haven't come across that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there is a lot of talk about nimitta as far as a sign of
Meditation. That is
the sign of the beautiful and the sign like the subha and the asubha.
Shobhana Chitta.
Yeah, so then whether you're grasping or repelled by it, and whether you can
Right.
be
Agree.
something's very pleasing and beautiful, I can look at it in regards, I can see it as beautiful or pleasant or unpleasant,
Exactly.
depending on my mental state, actually.
Exactly.
And so I could either grasp or be repelled by that sign.
Exactly.
This is what some of what but there is a specific reference to the sign of the mind in as a Samyutta Nikaya, and it's the simile of the cook.
That's right.
And the cook is looking to the his or her the king or the whoever they're serving, and seeing what's pleasing to the king. So this is like looking at one's own mental state and what is beautiful, what is pleasing to the mind, actually, the sign of the mind. So you're looking for that beautiful aspect of mind. And there's another reference to nimitta for the in meditation for the samadhi nimitta, and there's it comes in another sutta where the it's a simile of a merchant, and how is a merchant successful in gaining wealth and not losing the wealth that they already have. And that's because in the morning they pay attention to their marketplace, in the evening, in the middle day they pay attention to the marketplace, and in the evening they pay attention to the marketplace. And for the monastic or the meditator, they are attending to their samadhi nimitta in the morning, in the middle of the day, and the evening. So what that actually means is that your object of meditation is it actual, like what they described in the Visuddhimagga. So there's like maybe discussion about that too, but that's how I'm familiar with it in the suttas about, this sun is it's right in my face. So it'd be interesting to find out more about the pancha nibbida, because I'm not familiar with that. But how our minds are inclining throughout the day. Are we focusing on negativity? Are we inclining our mind towards anger, hatred, greed? How are we inclining our minds throughout the day? If we're inclining our minds towards generosity, kindness, happiness, the inclination of our mind, what we're nurturing in our mind, this is also another way of looking at kind of a sign. How is it bright? Is it joyful? Is it, peaceful? Or is it the opposite? And then so how our mind is inclining, what we're nurturing in our mind, that's also going to affect our destination after we pass away. So that's what I know from the teachings, and it'll be interesting to find out more. And we could stay on a little longer if anyone else has something to say or share. Or we could close now if there's a. Sorry, the sound just right in my face. It's very funny. I don't remember that doing that before. It just because I was talking about it, maybe. So, so I hope you all have a wonderful day. And yeah, it's wonderful to carry your mindfulness from the cushion into daily activities, aware of the body, aware of what's arising in the mind as well. And I hope to see you again. Oh, we'll be meeting again at 1 o'clock, and I'll be sharing a couple of suttas from the Samyutta Nikaya, from the Magga Samyutta, the collection of discourses on the path. So you're welcome to join me at that time, and I hope you all have a wonderful, mindful, kindful day. Huh? Oh.